ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your channel, Sidescrape here. Today we're going to be looking at the T54 first prototype, crossbreed between T54 and the T54. Now, it's got lovely armour, it's a lot slower, which we're going to go through some details. First off though, I wouldn't normally say this at the start, but I'll let you guys decide and go through some statistics first, but I think this is a very, very, very good tank, and very viable tier 8 medium Soviet tank. Detailing is fantastic, but when you look at it straight on, you can see it's got this tiny little cupola on top, so it's very hard to get to. The turret is nice and flat, and she has some really nice bouncy cheeks on her. I'm going to go through some statistics first though. Just look at the detailing now, it's epic, man. Apart from the weak spot you see around here, it's a nice flat surface, so if you ever go up against it, it's quite easy to kill. So, top speed is 44 kilometers, engine power 520, traverse speed 42, turret traverse of 40, so it's pretty nice and fast, but the one thing it lacks compared to normal medium tanks is the view range, 396. Let's look at the tank inspector and tank compare. So looking at the tank frontally on, aiming for the lower glacis, 165 at the top, 171 at the bottom, and then the arm is roughly 200mm at the front. So you can see there's no real glaring weak spots apart from this tiny little thing here for the driver's vision, but it's very hard to get to be honest with you. The rest of it's quite nice and punchy, and if you can get yourself so you're covering your lower glacis, you know, like in a, not a hold down position, but just to cover your lower glacis, maybe in a depression or something, you'll find this tank works very, very well. Looking at the front of the turret there, you can see the shells are quite hard to penetrate. 181 straight for the dead centre, but you normally be wiggling your turret as you're going around. So looking at a good angle for this tank is here. So your gun will be pointing straight over the track, as it is now. And you'll be fighting in this position. It'll enable the tank to have a better overall angling. Side on, pretty normal, pretty weak. The turret, as well as from the arse. 49, 80, full on for artillery, 15. It's nothing really exceptional there, so it's pretty, you know, bog standard. We're going to be looking at this against the other premium tanks at the tier 8 level, for the medium only, not for the heavies or anything else, just as a comparison to find out which is the actual best tank to look at. So the ones that we're going to be looking at comparisons against, with some statistics which we'll discuss as we go, is the CDC, the French, the Panther 88, German, T26E4, the Super Pershing, American, the STA2, the Japanese, T54 3, the Chinese, and the T54 Mod 1, the first prototype, this one. We're going to be just looking at some statistics as we go, okay? So, first off, let's look at tank compare and see what it says. Right, the tanks I've chosen for this is the T54 on paper, is the Super Pershing and the Panther, all because they've got very comparative speeds. So, first off, price, more expensive, but I think it's a lot more viable, a lot better cash. Hit points, it's got the weakest amount of 200 less into the tanks. Speed limit is more or less, they're all pretty averaging, that's why I chose these tanks. So 44 kilometers compared to 40 and 46 of the Panther 88. Reverse speed, comparable. The weight, it's the lightest tank out of the three. Load limit, it's got one less, what was it, the radio operator than the other ones. Hull armour 120, 177 against 80, so it's the second best tank. The turret armour at the front is the best. Engine power, second best. Horsepower ton is the best. So no, it's pretty good at going uphill, maintain its level with its weight. Traverse speed is the best. And then looking at the view range is the worst, and the turret traverse is the best again. Another point to look at is the damage explosion radius of it. Yeah, balls to that. Armour penetration, it's same as the on the IS-6 gun. It's quite derpy, it misses quite a few shots, as you'll see when you're playing it. The penetration is 175 for the T54 compared to 170 for the Super Pershing, which can be a bit underwhelming at times. But the Panther, same as the Panther 2, has a 203mm gun. APCR is second best. The shell price, who cares? Shell speed, now this is quite interesting because it is the slowest type of shell, which you might not think is that important, but let's look at it realistically. You try to hit a target, you fire at the same time as Super Pershing, he's always going to hit before you do. So it's always something to really look at and to compare against. So when you're taking your tank out, that's why when I try to play tanks, I'll only ever try to play a maximum of 5 tanks and just load up this site just to make sure that I know how fast their shell travels, just so you know how much lead to give. It's not worse than when you've missed 1 or 2 shots, which could be the end or the win to the game. 7.41 rounds a minute, so it's second placed. Reload time of 8.1 seconds. It's not too bad really. And the accuracy is second overall, so it's typical Russian, but it's quite similar to Super Pershing. Aim time 2.6 seconds, so it is quite bad. I've used the enhanced gun line drive just to reduce that somewhat. And the depression, -6, is pretty crap. Now the big thing to really look at here is the ammo capacity. It is the worst out of all the tanks, as we'll cover off in a minute. Let's look at some gameplay. So first off, we're playing on the hidden village, 71% chance to win. I'd normally go over to the, the B8, B9 section, just because it's a really good area for the mediums to be engaging, rather than getting shot by artillery or the heavies in the standard G4 line. Now, just to run off some information here. So the maximum ammunition for this tank is 3.4. And looking at the World of Tanks Assist for iPads, for tablets, or for the Samsung phones, it has a rating of 2.2. which comparable to the AMX CDC, which has 90 shells, 90, which is massive in comparison. That has a rating of 9.2. Damage wise, 250 damage per shot, which is a rating of 6.4 average. Look at the scale of 1 to 10. With the T54 does 390 damage, which is the highest damage that there is for this type of tank. Obviously the reload is worse. Armour penetration is 175, which is a rating of 6.5, which is 5th place. Compared to the AMX CDC, which does the 212 at a rating of 10. Now that's looking at, don't forget, the CDC, the Panther 88, the Super Pershing, the STA2, T54 and this tank itself. And then you're looking at damage per minute is 1853, which is a rating of 4.6 or 4th place, comparable to the Panther 88, which does 2080 damage per minute at a rating of 8.7. Just going to stop this 1 second here just to cover one more detail. The rate of fire is 7.41 rounds per minute, a rating of 3.5, which is the 4th place out of that catchment of tanks. For the Panther 88 does 8.7, a rating of 4.6. Now, I'm going to put some of these details down in the description. I don't want to start chucking it up on the screen so it confuses everybody. The reason I'm saying this is, on paper, this tank is pretty bleh, average, it's not the top, it's not too much, but the tank is really forgiving, comparable to, let's say, the FCM or the CDC, where they've got no armour. The STA2, it's got no armour. Then you've got the opposite side of the spectrum, you've got the Super Pershing, which has got a monster amount of armour, but penetration is 170 compared to 175, so it's all tit for tat. Look at these gameplays. Can't speak now. T-54 Mod, let's put a shot at me. He's missed. I'm side scraping, as you can see here. The only part you can see is the side of the track, which I said before is the perfect angle, which is here. So your gun is literally over the track, and that reduces the overall left hand side of the tank. The lower glacis and the upper glacis and the right hand side of the tank. Most of the shots will be absorbed by the tracks themselves. So I've only got one other guy supporting me so far. Get another shot into T-34. One, start pushing forward because he's starting to retreat. Always make sure you're aggressive with this tank. Again, stop this one here. Right, well, that tank's looking at me now. I think it's a lovely, perfect position for this tank. You can't really see it because of the smoke, but it's got a slight depression which I'm down on, or into, which allows me to be able to use the armour to the best of my ability. Now, I've got 17 armour piercing shells, 10 APCL and 3 HE. Always make sure that you use at least or carry 1 or 2 HE for decaps and kills on tanks, which you can't normally do. It's so important. So we're up to a win rate of 661 so far. So you've got about 1100 damage to do, or just over 1000 damage to be able to get your WN8 score. That's the projected damage. Just wiggling backwards and forwards because I'm just going to keep cutting this off here. there could be some hostiles in this direction. I'm trying to use the hull of the T-25-2 to shield my body, really. Starting to turn my tank just to get it into position so I can move forward next. Our heavies, there's only a few gone towards the lower section, the western side of the map. The rest of the guys have come with me. So we need to get stuck in and keep this gun singing. The tank, because it's got so much armour, is a lot slower than a lot of the other medium tanks. So you need to make sure that you're always moving, you're planning where you want to go, what your target location is going to be. So I'm just trying to keep pushing up while not going in too fast. I don't want to be the first guy to get in there because I'm going to be one that gets shot. Oh, really? You want to be looking at staying behind somebody else who gets shot so you can retaliate and get kills. Now I'm knocking all over the buildings, which isn't the best idea really. Look to the left to see if we can hit the rain, the artillery. Can't because they're in the depression behind their cap circle. Push up to the right side. Now look at that aim time. Do you see how long it took just for me to get a shot on that Jag Panther 2? It can be frustrating compared to other medium tanks, especially the Russian ones at higher tier. They've got a really quick aim time, or they're not that bad really on average. But I suppose you've got to have something that balances the tank out, otherwise this tank would be too overpowered. Starting to push up. Going full speed here, look at the speed, it's still pretty slow. Going uphill because of the weight of the armour, slowing it down, the resistance. He's coming over for a cheeky shot on me, I'm sideways on, so I'm trying to get a track shot to stop him from rolling any further forwards or rolling back. As you can see, missed that shot because of it. And now he's pinned here. Finish him off with a shot to lower glacis. T-54 in front is getting a bit of damage. He's not able to push that Panther 2 for some reason. The Panther 88, the other German premium tier tank, has no real arm. It's like 80mm at the front, so it's more of a sniper tank. So same with the Panther too. I just peek around, put a shot in. I'm up to 2,960 WN8. Super Pershing just pushes out, plants a shot straight to my tank. One thing to be looking at, I'm coming uphill here, so my upper glacis has gone from a nice natural angle to being more of a flat surface, you know, because he's pointing down on me. So I need to make sure that I can get to a position now where I alter the physics of my tank. I alter the way my tank is positioned. Otherwise, every single shot he comes and fires into me, as you see, 2 shots fired off him. Sorry, 1 shot fired off him, penetrated straight away. He's going to get another shot on me now. Well, because I angled it again. This angle, it says, this angle, the shot just bounced off, so it works. I'm going for shot to knock his tracks out. Now I'm just on doing the best thing you can do in a medium tank in this sort of situation is rock backwards and forwards. So if he goes for a shot in the lower glacis, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get the shot through to me. So I blocked 605 damage with my armour so far, which isn't bad really when you consider it's a medium tank. When I've been fired at by some pretty high penetration guns, apart from the 170 on the Super Pershing. There's now a lower in front. Our guys really haven't pushed up, so I'm going to try to get in his face and taking some damage. We're up to 5,050 WN8 so far, 2,629 damage or 25 damage. It's not monumental. I don't like to show a game which is, you know, I've done 8,000 damage, 65,000 WN8. I want to show some pretty averaging games. Now look at the ammunition there. You can see I've got 2 shells left of AP. I've used no APCR so far, so I'm running low on ammunition straight away. Got a third kill. There's only 1 FCM left. So overall, not such a bad game. Nothing spectacular. Just push around as most people. You probably do it yourself, don't you? In that angle, you move from the city across if it's been cleared out. Try to kill any light tanks that would normally be around EF6, which wasn't this time. Now let's just wrap this up. Have a look at the end of game statistics, see how we did, and then move on to the next game. Big one. So you can see how successful this tank is. I did like over 3,000 damage, and I only achieved a first mastery badge. First class. It's a good tank. I've earned 101,000 credits, 3,690 with ×2 for the day. With premium, I've got statistics of 3,116 damage, 1,230 base experience, compared to Super Pershing with 1,800 damage, and the rest of the guys did pretty well. It's nice to see the team, you know, with damage on compared to the other team, who were the only managed to get 4 of our kills. So, damage due to player assistance. You know where I shot the Tiger P before? I took his tracks out rather than just doing a side shot. I managed to get damage assist, which gave me additional experience, which is always important to do. Always try to get your track shots. So 19 shells fired, 18 of them hit, and 14 penetrated, which isn't so bad for this tank. So that's 19 shells fired out of 34 that I carry overall. 605 damage blocked by armour. So 6 shots fired at me, 3 penetration, 3 none. 92,428 overall used, no gold used. Not such a bad game. Now let's crack on, let's look at the next game. So this time we're on fire assailant. I'm going to try to go to known positions, you know, the G0 hill. Try to get shots across and some kills for our guys. My main concern here is the AMX CDC. I'm not sure why I always do that. I always roll the mouse button forward and backward. It's like a habit. If I don't do that, I don't win. You know what I mean? It's like having a lucky shoehorn or rabbit's foot, whatever they are. Yep, so the CDC is a danger because it's got really good penetration. It probably goes through me each time with these 3 artillery. Are they in a platoon? No! Thank you. We do have 2 E25s on our side though, so that'll be quite good. It'll mean that we can get some good kills, and hopefully we'll push up to what, E1 if you can ever get there first. Beautiful spot. I think you're quite handicapped, so aren't you? When you're at the south, the hostiles or whoever gets to E1 from the north has a really dominant position all the way down to K1. So I'm only just now accelerating away from the T-32 and the I-6. That's how slow the tank is, but look how beautiful the visuals are on this thing. Look at that, the way the tracks are just sat. Wargame, you've done a fantastic job this time, and it looks really, really good. So as the game's unwrapping out, the CDC has come up against us in front. He's a yellow player. Yeah, doesn't make a difference if you are a yellow player or not, because they are really good at times. They can surprise you. RSU 14-1 artillery. Iron Binsk. Shout out to you, mate, for taking out the AMX CDC first off. Try to push up this hill because see the sluggishness. Oh, I've got the tanks behind us. They're only a little bit behind us when normally, look at the D25, or normally a medium would have been up here about 20 seconds ago. It's pretty dangerous pushing up to where I am now, but because of the armour I feel confident to be able to get some damage in there really. And my armour's good enough to stop me getting nailed. I'm in a really lovely depression here. As you can see, ooh, nice stopping. Lovely. I am pointing slightly upwards, but all they're going to be able to see from this position is my turret, which is nice and flat. Look at that. That is perfect for this tank. So we go for a shot on the Comet. Shot went through. This shell travel time is a bit of a bugger really, to be honest with you. It's like a slight delay in there before the shell hits. When you're playing with a Super Pershing, the shell will have gone through there like a 6/7 faster. So the 112 compared to the IS-3, which is really good space down at the side, the 112 doesn't have anything, so the shells will always go through compared to firing at the IS-3. Sometimes you'll notice that your shells get absorbed. It's like, what's going on? Like there. I think my shell hit, but it was absorbed by either the tracks or the space down, so the 112 is a lot easier for me to get a shot through. He says as he fails. SU 14-1 has just plonked another shell straight through and killed the IS-3. He's on top form today. Now, trying to use this tank as a sniper is not always the best bet. As you can see, I'm just going to roll straight in and take my chance with it with my armour. It's not that accurate with a .38. Now, the Super Pershing has the same sort of statistics, but I feel a lot more confident sniping with that tank compared to this one. But normally you wouldn't snipe with Super Pershing anyway. Pushing down a T-44, my counterpart. First shot went through, he ricocheted on the left hand side of my tank. And I pushed into him, I got slight damage to him, not much. Shell went straight through to him. Now, see where he goes for shell on me. He bounced off the front of the armour. Very dangerous. Look at this. I'm pointing downwards, which gives him a flat surface, but he still bounces. Pointing downwards, my nice slope becomes a flat angle, or flat surface really. Even tried to fire through APCR and it didn't go through. Comet gets a cheeky shot. When I'm side on, I retaliate and the shell misses. A 112 fires back. He's in a really nice hold down position though, which is going to be quite hard to wangle him out. He says as the shell goes through. So up to 1563 WN8 so far. That water is a lot deeper than what I thought it was, to be honest with you. I should really be switching over to one of my HE shells just to get the kill. Which I do. And he gets killed. How typical is that? How many times that happened? You know, you just get it right and then some sausage goes and beats you to it. This game's pretty much over now. It should be pretty short and sweet. I'm going to be switching back to the garage after this one though, because I want to just show you some of the tanks I've got. I think I've got 48 premiums. I would like you guys to choose one of the other premiums you want to look at. Got T-32, look at that hill. I was thinking here, shall I help him? Oh, no way, because he's going to be a lot heavier than me. It'd be stupid. And it's a waste of damage potential. SUA gets nailed. IS-6 is performing pretty well with his accuracy. How many times have you been in the IS-6 and you aim at something about 100 metres away and it just goes nowhere near where you want it to? I'm pretty confident pushing over here. I can take a couple of hits. The IS-6 is down towards E1, E2. Poke over, see if there's any retaliatory shots. Nothing comes over. And the IS-6 is not shootable, so I'm not even going to bother waiting for it. If I sit on the ridge, all that's going to happen to me is I'm going to get shot in the arse or shot in the face. I'm just trying to push in there and trying to get some shots in. Comet fires far too fast. I'll stop and wait for that dreadfully long aim time and I miss. Yay! I'm trying to indicate where I believe the archery will be, which is just a normal camp spot really, isn't it? So when he done 1484 damage. Now, why am I showing you this replay when it's a review? It's not so good. Well, simple thing is, it's the performance of the tank. You can see that I'm only just beating the T-32 as well as the IS-6 in manoeuvrability because I'm just such a slow-arsed heavy tank. Thankfully, derped a shot. Makes it shooting to my left. I'm going to concentrate on nailing this artillery first and then turn around. So 1375 will probably at E1 really, won't it? Top of the hill. Top of the hill there to you. Now I'm going to have to move my slow, sluggish, fat ass back over to our base. I've already lost half my health, which was the APCR fired by the AMX. Which is respect to him. So, we need to find him now quickly. One thing I fear is they've got 3 scouts in their team. And they can easily turn the tables by getting around the back of me straight away. I'm hoping that our guys will be able to just get a shot on this guy and they'll take him down. Keep my hull pointed forward. As soon as I'm re-spotted, I turn my turret because I don't want to get a shot in the side of my turret. Maybe an ammo rack, explosion or anything else. I've got 8 shells left. Now all I'm really doing is trying to get some spots in with my very limited view range. Try to move them back, and these sort of hills are a real nice place for this tank. Now obviously peeking over the depression has been shocking, but it allows me to be able to utilise my angular of my armour. Look at this, every single time I go to position I'm caught out and something different happens. Epic. WTAF. Okay. HE. That was a bit derpy of me there. I could have been really, really hurt with that sort of shot from the chap. So 2100 damage done so far, so 3,500 WN8. Not such a bad game. There's a lot of movement with this tank, and it's not very fast. Look at the hill, 26 kilometers an hour kph, just going over that hill. Comparable to normal, you'd probably be looking at 40% extra speed. Go for a shot on the T-37, and that is the gun's accuracy at times. Shell doesn't go anywhere. Obviously, I didn't let the aim time get in there. The reticle wasn't fully zoomed in. but it wasn't far off. Guess he decided to fight instead of go. Oh, boom! Feel my way, baby. There's only the AT7 left, so I'm just going to push in. AT7's quite a good tank. I fear it because I'm good with it. If anybody's good with that tank, you know yourself, don't you? Get yourself in a nice position where all you can see is the right hand side of the tank, where the gun's popping through, and it's pretty formidable. I've decided to load up APCR because I don't really want to miss the shots and get return fire. I'm going to have to peek over these hills. As soon as I peek over this hill, my lower glacis is going to be up on an angle. You'll be able to get a shot through. See what I mean? So as I'm reaching this hill here, ooh, still bounce, but must have a smaller gun. My angle down becomes more of a flat surface. My shell misses. I just tried to get a respot, and even if I can't get damage onto him, at least I'll be getting the damage assist from me spotting it. Hopefully I can get a shot through anyway. Trying to wiggle it, shot goes straight through. Even though it's a pretty decent angle, but because of, like I said before, it's up on this level. But 2200 damage blocked by armour. I decided to turn, and I tried to get a shell through the tracks to be able to stop him from being able to turn around to me again. Come on, baby! Boom! He's now dead. Game over. Having to chase all over the place. I see that shell just totally missed. No, don't turn to me! No! The lord that the shell went through. Let's look at the end of game statistics. So, we've got a mastery badge. Fighter, 5 for effects, shellproof, spotter, hand of god, duelist, bruiser, steel wall, high caliber. So mastery badge was a nice little finish to the day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 tanks we interacted with. 1374 experience base, 3187 damage done with 4 kills. Didn't seem like it was that fast or fluid a game, did it really? But it goes to show how the tank is. It's slow, it can be quite inaccurate, but overall it feels like a really, really good premium tank, an exceptional premium tank, to be honest with you. Look at the detail report. 2200 damage blocked by armour, 1575 damage upon detection. I travelled 3.54 kilometres, which is pretty stupendous for this vehicle. So 27 shells fired, which left me with 7 shells left to go. 4 of them didn't hit. Look at that, look at the penetrations. 14 out of 23 penetrated. It's pretty large really, isn't it? It's could be because I was aiming at the wrong positions, but when I fired at the Comet, the shell didn't go through, which is pretty surprising since it's all flat surfaces. I've got 175mm penetration, but yeah, that's just the way it seems to be. Let's just jump back to garage a sec. So just to round off then, I hope you can see the potential of the tank. It's really good for credits. Now, what I want to ask you next, excuse me, is what tank do you want to see? So, as you can see from the bottom, just pause it as you want. These are the premium tanks I've got. Let me know what you'd like to see. I'll do a review or just some standardised gameplay on there. My recent purchase was the Mickey Mouse with skirts, Minnie Mouse I guess. But these are the rest of the tanks I've got. If not for premium, is a few other tanks that I can just show through. So it all depends on what you want to see. I'll be looking at doing some more on the Academy series. I'm just trying to find what would be best to do for the Academy right now. What would you like to see, guys, for the Academy? Would you like to see me to do on camouflage, how to utilise your tanks? For example, when people say they're going to be taking out a heavy tank, or medium tank, there's multiple types. You got the standard medium tank, as the Leopard PTA, but you should really be using this as a sniper because it has no armour. The 50 can brawl, but it can also snipe. T54 E1 is an autoloader, so it's really, really good if you take it into the front lines and utilise the gun itself. Now, that's the sort of question I want you guys to come back at me anyway. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care, and I'll see you out there. Keep playing. Toodle pip.